Jeremiah Johnson made his way into the mountains, betting on forgetting all the troubles that he knew.
I've heard about 20 coming by. They piled right down.
The trail was wide and narrow. The eagle or the sparrow showed the path he was to follow as it flew. A mountain man's a lonely man and he leaves a lot behind. It ought to have been different, but you oftentimes will find that the story doesn't always go the way you had in mind. Jeremiah's story was that kind. Jeremiah's story was that kind.
Don't really know how well he handled it.
An Indian says you search in vain for what you cannot find. He says you found 1,000 ways of running down your time. An Indian didn't scream it, he said it in a song. And he's never been known to be wrong. He's never been known to be wrong.
Now the real work begins. 6x7.
That you wonder is the way
the Gila monster
that you choose.
6x7 herd bull.
The day that
Got him up here,
tarry
200 or 300 yards up in the saddle. Came in this morning
Sunshine or
about 4 to 6.
thunder,
There wasn't
a man will always wonder
dark as could be.
where
I heard a big bull
the fair
bugling below me.
women.
Figured he was making his way up the ridge, so I humped it up the ridge as fast as I could.
Jeremiah Johnson.
Trusty sneaky feet. John let me
Made
borrow.
his way into the mountains.
Finding this nice burn, and
He was
just starting to be where you could see. And
all the
I
trouble
was set up good, and they were coming across this burn. And I don't know how big the herd was, but there were 2 bulls and about 7 cows. And little did I know there's about 10 behind them. And you know, they were coming they were going to cross below me about 20 yards. The wind swirled, Spike and a cow that was in the front stopped, kind of got anxious, turned around, took the herd. They didn't run, they just kind of walked. The rest of the herd followed. And there was 2 other 6 points and then this big guy in there. And they were bugling back and forth and just leisurely went up over the ridge on the other side. So I figured they would try to come back to where they wanted to go through the next saddle. So I hoofed it up the ridge. I could hear them bugling below me, probably 100 yards down the ridge. Hoofed it up. I could hear them coming up to the next saddle. In fact, a place we call New Mexico Ridge. I call it Stumble Butte because John and I came up there last year, and he unfortunately fell down a couple times on the way out. And Cal came up, and I had a nice shooting range. I stopped. Look at 6 point, probably a 310 bull. Came stopped, looked at me for a while, and the rest of the herd was coming up, and he was just trying to check me out. The other cow just ridged out, and so he figured I must be okay, and so he kept following the cow. And then a string of like 12 cows came, cows and calves, just bang, bang, bang. I could hear the herd bull coming up behind him, and a couple of small cows behind him. There's this nice big dead pine tree that I showed it in the previous video. He got his head behind that where he couldn't see me. I drew back. He stepped out. I thought he was about 30 yards. I hit him dead center in the body, probably a little far back. I think I got his liver pretty good. We'll find out when I cut him open. But the arrow was covered in blood. A little foam here and there, so I thought I got maybe the back of the lung. I was nervous there for a while. I waited at least an hour and then started looking really slowly for blood. Didn't find a lot. I found somewhere I hit him, and then maybe a drop or 2 close nearby, and then, wow, there's like a 100-yard period where I couldn't find any. And then I just started following tracks that I could find. There were a few tracks coming down. Easier to follow because he probably be making a move and leaving big prints, and it wasn't so much. Lucky, and I found some foamy blood on a twig and then a rock, and then I found some against the side of a tree on some oak leaves, and then I knew I was in business. Followed it slowly. He serpentined down the hill a little bit, and then I could see him, and here he is. And he's a fine trophy. You know, we're a good ways back here. We have good horses back here. We can make this nice. We're only about a mile away from the four-wheeler boy, but it's ugly up and down.
He says you found 1,000 ways of running down.
Take some pictures here, and then we'll get cutting on him, and hopefully I can find John. John's over in Vegas Park.
He said it in a song, and he's never
we'll get after it now. The real work begins. It's all been
to be wrong.
fun up to now. We'll just kind of recap all of that.
He's never been known to be wrong.
Biggest bull I've ever killed. Doesn't matter if it's a bow or a gun. It's gonna be a good return trip home.
that you wander is the way that you choose. The day that you tarry is the day that you lose. Sunshine or thunder, a man will always wonder where the fair wind blows. Jeremiah Johnson made his way into the mountains. He was betting on forgetting all the troubles that he knew. Jeremiah Johnson made his way into the mountains.
And there we go.
Betting
Vandal with
on
Mexico.
forgetting
3 hours.
all the troubles
Headed
that
back.
he knew.
Headed back to the homestead.
The trail was wide and narrow. The eagle or the
See you,
sparrow
compadre.
showed the path he was to follow as it flew. A mountain man's a lonely man and he leaves a lot behind. It ought to have been different, but you oftentimes will find that the story doesn't always
Comes John
go
down the home
the way
stretch
you had in mind.
for Mexico.
Jeremiah's story was that kind.
That's a fine sight.
Jeremiah's story was that kind.
6 miles later, here they are with the monster. John the cowboy in Mexico.
An Indian says you search in vain for what you cannot find. He says you found 1,000 ways running around the time. You screams, he said, and he's never been known to be wrong. He's never been known to be wrong.
Wahhees. And we burned them up in mulch.
The way that you wander is the way that you choose. The day that you tarry is the day that you lose. Sunshine or thunder, a man will always wonder where.
Wahhees. Okay, here we are in the Wahhees. I hunted yesterday with John and we got into a herd of about 40 or 45 and a bunch of bulls in there, and we just had a great time. From 7 a.m. to noon, they just bugled like crazy. Then we did a couple other things in the afternoon and weren't able to get on a bull. John had to go home last night, and then so this morning I went up to Vulcan Creek, which is just over there, and jumped a herd of about 20, 5x6 in there, and then a 6-point that I took the safety off on. But when he turned his head, I saw that he didn't have, his whole left antler was gone. So let them go by. Didn't see any more elk, and I was bugling on that ridge. I heard some bulls bugling over here. So I thought I'd come over and take a look. On my way down, I ran into Fish and Game. A guy by the name of Brian Garrett was here. And let's see, how do I want to hold this thing?
The trail was wide and narrow.
And Brian and I talked for a bit. Had a great talk. And then he said, you know, I heard some bulls bugling over there. And I said, yeah, I did too. I was going to walk over and give it a look. So came over here and bugled a couple times, didn't hear anything, and then drove up the road a bit and ran into a spike. And I thought, oh, maybe he's looking at a herd. And anyway, I turned left and went up on the ridge and bugled and heard a couple bulls answer, and then heard some growling answers down here, and it's probably half a mile away. So I figured I'd come over and give it a look, and I heard some bulls fighting. So you know, when they're fighting, I can just come up on them as fast as I want. Started hoofing it up here, bugling one another's third bull in the area, and never did get a good look at each of the bulls, but they were you know, clashing pretty good. Just on the Quakies behind the camera, and I got to the corner of a fence down there and bugled again. And this guy jumped the fence. You know, he got off the fight, jumped the fence, and then came down this road after me. And let's say 100 yards away. So hit him in the lungs the first time, and he took a big lurch. You know, humped his back up and trotted right here, and stuck another one in him, and he went down right away. So I walked back and got my four-wheeler, and this is going to be nice because I'll got him out, bag him out. Four-wheeler's right here by the road, and we'll get this guy home and without too much hassle. So good morning. I mean, he's a nice bull. I like the fact that he's symmetrical. Got some decent mass that carries through his antlers, and you know, his points aren't the longest, and he's not the biggest. He's I don't know, I'm gonna guess he's 320, but you know, that now I got the season over with, and got a nice couple bulls. The one in the Gila is just, you know, world class, and this is a fine bull for Idaho, and glad to have it. I'll probably European mount him out. And
for what you cannot
Successful
find.
ending to the season, so now I'll take my
He
kids
says you found 1,000 ways
deer hunting and
running down
coach some baseball. It'd be a great time.
An Indian didn't
Here's the 2012,
scream.
great elk season,
He said it
and with more to
in
come.
a song, and he's never been known to be wrong. He's never been known to be wrong.
Okay, so you can see down there this tree. You see there's this tree tracker and little ways right there, right? And so he was fighting about 20 yards beyond these quakies. He jumped the fence right up here, and he came down here, and when he was standing about right here, he was broadside, and I shot him. He came down and he kind of lurched, and kind of went broadside, and I shot him. He humped up, and he came over here, and then I shot him
Sunshine or
right here,
thunder,
and he went and died. Right.
a man will
So, you got the
always
four-wheeler right
wonder
close by.
where
Now, I wasn't on the four-wheeler. The four-wheeler was parked about a half a mile over here. There's a bridge you can't really see that's over here that I was
made his way
on top of
to
bugling,
the
and then I
mountain.
ran down. I left everything, even my pack,
He was
ran down
betting
here,
on
ran
forgetting
up, and heard
all
those
the
bulls fighting, and then
troubles
was able to
that he knew.
get a shot from down there. So, that's the story. Okay, well, it's 2:23. I just finished, and so I think I'm going to take 2 trips because I'm not that far, and why push it? First shot went through the leg, through the shoulder blade, took out both lungs, took out the heart. Second shot went through the liver. Well, actually, it went through the bottom of the spine. It shocked a little bit of the loin, but that's why he went straight down when I hit him. So, all in all, a good deal. Flies, coyotes, and bears will now have fun.
The trail was wide and narrow. The eagle or the sparrow showed the path he was to follow as it flew. A mountain man's a lonely man, and he leaves a lot behind. It ought to have been different, but you oftentimes will find that the story doesn't always go the way you had in mind. And Jeremiah